Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome William Wood. Good afternoon, William.
Kia ora, Fraser.
Any relation to William Wood, the MP in the early 20th century, also a councillor and mayor? He was MP for the Liberal Party.
No relation, but it is reassuring to know that I'm not the first William Wood to be running for Palmerston North.
Let's just talk a little bit about trust. We were asked to trust Simon and Paula at the beginning of the year, then it was Todd and Nikki, and now we seem to have brought back the old guard. We've got Judith and Jerry. All of this has passed within the past 5 months. That's a heck of a turnaround. Does that acknowledge perhaps some dissent in the ranks in the background?
Well, look, I believe there was dissent in the ranks, hence the coup with Todd Muller, but Todd stepped down when he recognised he was not up to the job, his mental health was not fit for the position, and actually, given we're in Mental Health Awareness Week, I think it's important to recognise and respect that decision on his behalf. It was not appropriate to go back to Simon and Paula. Paula had announced her resignation, and so therefore it was important we brought in a new team, which was going to give National a clear direction and a clear policy position, which we have now done.
It's not a new team though, is it?
New team from Simon and Paula. And we've got an incredible group of new candidates coming through, and I'm not talking about myself, I'm talking about people such as Tim Costley in Otaki, such as Christopher Luxon up in Botany, or Katie Nimmin over in Napier.
Further to that, there was a pretty major accounting blunder with Goldsmith in billions? $4 billion blunder. That doesn't lead to, I mean, his name's Goldsmith for a start.
Well, look, the $4 billion hold is something I'd like to talk about because fundamentally it shows a pretty stark difference between how the National Party government would operate and how the current Labour and coalition government would operate.
Yeah.
We recognise we made a mistake, absolutely. We put our hand up, we owned it, and we had it fixed within 1 hour. Our debt target changed from 35% of GDP to 36%, and we admitted our mistake. But I think being reactive to mistakes and being open to admit when you make them is a pretty important part of what we will be doing in government. We will own our policy, we will own our decisions, and we will own our mistakes.
And sadly, that's something that you've had to do in the early stages of your campaign as well, isn't it?
Absolutely.
There was the MAGA hat and the Hitler moustache.
Well, the MAGA hat, I want to be very clear, I was not wearing it, nor was I making that symbol. A person who was representing the United States at an event that day was doing that. And as for the milk moustache I had, yes, that was absolutely in bad taste. I completely agree. But I think it's very important to recognise the intention behind acts like that. I grew up watching Fawlty Towers and Monty Python, where mocking those groups was not endorsement of their actions, and I'd make it very clear now, I do not and have never supported that kind of hate. It has no place in our country.
But there is also discussion around Fawlty Towers, etc., not being appropriate anymore.
What was that?
There's also discussion around certain aspects of Fawlty Towers and Monty Python not being appropriate anymore. And this, whilst you say this was in your childhood, this was only a few years ago.
Yes, but
that wasn't meant to be a jibe.
I am a touch younger than some of the other candidates here. That may be true. No, absolutely, and I wouldn't make a decision like that again today. But at the time, the intention was not to endorse those acts, it was to mock, and that's the reality of the situation.
Going back to Todd Muller, he also had a bit of a MAGA cap shrine in his office in Parliament. I mean, there just seems to be a slight undercurrent of sort of Trumpian support.
Yes, so I want to make it very clear, I do not support Donald Trump. I never would support his policies, and I am absolutely behind Joe Biden's campaign, and I hope he wins. It's also failed to recognise... Well, no, it's important to recognise that Todd Muller also had Hillary Clinton memorabilia, he also had Michelle Obama memorabilia, he also had Obama memorabilia.
He didn't have his photo taken in front of those, though, did he?
I believe he did.
Did he?
Yes.
We didn't see it.
Have a look at Todd's Facebook.
Fair enough. There is a fairly unkind rumour, but I want to sort of put it to you that this campaign's a bit of a training ground for you, and that perhaps, say, when Ian McKelvey retires in a few terms' time, you would make an excellent MP for Rangitikei.
So that's absolutely not true. I'm here for Palmerston North and I'm here to win this seat. There's a rumour out there that Palmerston North is a Labour Party stronghold, which is something I'd like to address. In my view, a stronghold is somewhere where the party vote is won by 4,000 or 3,000 or 2,000. The Labour Party won the party vote here by 300 at the last election. That is not a stronghold, that is a winnable seat. I am committed to this city. I am committed to this city. There are reasons as to why our candidate last time didn't do so well, and that's not up to me to discuss, but I'm absolutely dedicated. That's why I've been knocking on thousands of doors, that's why I've been visited hundreds of businesses, and that is why I am out at the markets every single Saturday when they are open. That's why I've been waving signs today, putting up signs, and focusing on our community. So no, I am here to win, and I can promise you today, I will not be the MP for the Rangitikei.
There you go. Do you admire Judith Collins?
In many ways, yes. I think one of the things that's such incredible about this election is that we're seeing two very different but equally important kinds of strong female leaders go up against each other. I think Judith has shown she's gone through adversity. There was absolutely the controversy around her in the last government, and she sat through that, she weathered the storm, and it was found that she wasn't at fault, and now she has came out again and she's built her way back up to the top, and I think there's something, whether you love her or hate her, that you can respect about that.
Jimmy, have you got any quick question on the text?
Just the same that I put to Tangi. If you were in government and you were either in a position to be a minister or that sort of thing, what sort of policy or portfolio area interests you?
Well, the only thing I've got my focus on at the moment is becoming the MP for Palmerston North.
I knew you'd say that, but do you have anything beyond that?
Look, I've got an absolute passion for housing. It's one of the reasons I joined the National Party. I think when we look at community housing in our city and when we hear that we've got 103 children going to school from hotels, I think that's a horrifying fact. Housing should not be partisan. We need to deal with this issue holistically, and I think National's in the best position to do it. My family, we own Cook Street Nursing Care Centre here in town, a small rest home. So health is another area and a passion of mine. But fundamentally, I will do whatever the party leader asks of me.
Very good. Into the quick fire round then. Cannabis legalisation and control, yes or no?
No.
The end-of-life choice bill?
No.
And can you demonstrate any te reo or sign?
Kia ora koutou katoa, ko William Tokowingawa no Manawatū, and no, I can't demonstrate any sign.
There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, William Woods.